draped in sheepskin, together we lie. Oh, oh, hello, my sweet. So won't you come with me? There's oh so much to show in this grimdark distillery. So if you like bullshit or want some hobby tips, this nightmare priest nigh unbinary world magnificent welcomes you. Hello, my sweets, and welcome. Good morning. Good morning. It is a Well, it's lovely by my standards. I like it when it rains. Thank you, Yuri. How are you? Yuri, were you the one who was asking me about Jujutsu Kaisen? Also, welcome, Yuri. And thank you. Fuck yeah, we found him. The search is over. All right. Well, you were right, it fucks. Because I love it. You were right. You called it. Like while I was watching the show, I was like, oh man, all this sounds really familiar. All this, man, yeah, wait, no, someone told me about this. Fuck, someone told me about this and it's really awesome. Someone said, man, you would really like this if you like anime because it's a lot like the kind of stuff you make. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I just recently finished season 3, so I'm trash. And we're watching the dubbed. So we are waiting to catch up, for the dub to catch up. But holy shit. Yeah, thank you, Yuri, for the recommendation. Whew. Yeah, thank you. Mwah, chef's kiss. That's the bar, everyone. What season are you currently in? So, I think I'm season 2. I think it's season 2. He's in the box. Yeah, he's in the box. And we watched the movie. So pretty much we pounded like man, the amount of stuff, thank you. I'm so glad, Yuri. Thank you for being here. I have been waiting to talk to whoever recommended it to me, and I was like, God, it was Yuri or I was trying to remember. I was like, I knew it was either Yuri or it was Star, and I just could not remember, or if those are the same person. My brain is just fried. But man, I'm so pumped. I've been asking about this for like at least a couple months now. I feel like, or at least a month. It feels like it's been forever. Like I have a JJK buddy now too. Yay, yay! Oh man, it's so good. But yeah, we pretty much, as soon as we watched like the first episode, like Kelly and I both were like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, we're in. Like this is sick as hell. And the next thing I know, like we just pounded through, like, I guess, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything for myself, so I don't want to look ahead, but we watched the movie, I guess, like maybe 2 episodes later than would have been like absolute, like, optimum, apparently. Like, it was like, oh, this is when the movie came out. Yeah, man, oh, it's so good. Fuck. Oh, man. Someone from Jujutsu Kaisen's getting sculpted. I'm making at least someone. And that's another thing I've been thinking of lately is I was like, man, I really want to start sculpting stuff that I just love, like my renditions and my takes on them, and like maybe casting them. I've been discussing casting, but things that have really, and that's it's just like it would be just things that I love or things that have like really impacted me. Because the very first thing that came to mind was Godzilla. I was like, I want to sculpt my rendition of Godzilla, because Godzilla is like the origin of me being a fucking weirdo, bro. Finish season 2, so I want to hear what you can see on season 3. Man, okay, I need to know what. I don't know which season we are on. I need to see when the Crunchyroll English dub release schedule. So we might be on season 3 then, because we are. If they have it updated, like we'll release new English subtitles for Jujutsu Kaisen season 3. Yeah, okay, no, maybe we're on season 3. Okay, so season. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna do any. Do you have Netflix? It's complete there already. Okay, so I think we are on season 3. It's been a hot minute because we had to stop because it was like they were being updated like almost bi-weekly at this point. Like the new episode would come out, but then the English one would come out. So yeah, I think we're like maybe 2 or 3 episodes behind now at this point. But fuck, it's so good. And the movie. The only reason we even found out about it, and I was so angry. I raged about this. I don't remember if I raged about this on stream or not. Also, Roz, welcome, homie. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We've got some things to talk about today. Yeah. I've had a lot of thoughts lately. But I found him, Roz. It was Yuri. I found it. The search is over. I see, yeah, season 3, I would say it's also peak Sophie jumping on 3rd edition train. Is there a train? Are other people doing this? I don't. Does Roz watch Jujutsu Kaisen 2? I don't know. Roz, are you watching Jujutsu Kaisen? Little Stevie. Who is Little Stevie? Is that Steve, or is that or is Little Stevie another person in like the community? Because I don't know Little Stevie. Who is Little Stevie? If Steve goes by Little Stevie now, fuck yeah. That's awesome. Chicago crew. Chicago crew? Okay. Chicago crew. I don't know. I'm trying to not South of Heaven. Okay. So not South. No, I do not know. I do not know Little Stevie then. Well, sounds like they know what the fuck's up. But yeah. Yeah, the whole reason that we to finish that thought up, Yuri, before I get deep dive into this. The only reason that we even like knew about the movie or season 0, BTW English dub is still not yet available though. Okay, yeah, we've been watching it on Crunchyroll, so I'm pretty sure we're on season 3 though. I want to be rewatching it once the English dub is released. Hell yeah, hell yeah. No chuds, no Master Steve. Okay, well. That sounds familiar. To finish that thought, yeah, the reason that we found out about season 0, and this sent me into a blood rage. Roz, did I rage about this already on here? I think I did. If not, then it was probably to my. It was probably to. I think it was to my friend John. I think John showed up. It might have been on Fresh Meat. It might have been while he was setting all the equipment up, and it's just me in the background curled up like a little goofball, yapping. I don't know how much of that he's going to keep. Hopefully not anything not good. But I was so angry because like I looked for it. I typed in, Jujutsu. I had to type in Jujutsu Kaisen all the way. And like when I typed it in, like it pulls it up, and then like next to it, normally it would be like because you watched, like, or it's recommendations, but like every single recommendation was not 0, but they didn't have 0 underneath of Jujutsu Kaisen. It was its own separate thing, but like trying to look it up was just fucking impossible. And I got so angry, and I was like, fuck, what the fuck? And then I clicked on it, and it didn't show up where like, oh, under seasons. It was like, because you watched, you might like, and it was down there, and I was like, what? But yeah, I was so angry about that just because it was just like, it took so long. Probably didn't take that long. It wasn't alive. I've seen if you had a rage about JJK. Okay, come join our JJK cult. I have Blu-rays of Jacob 7 double back. Oh man, Ross, I didn't know that. Man, oh man, it's great. I like it. I like it a lot. I really like, yeah, Zero. I don't. My brain is absolutely fried from just all the things lately, but uh, Zero is fucking rad as hell. And then I love how it all meets back up. I'm just like, fuck yeah. And I also am thinking it's like, man, I'm pretty sure at some point I had a sticker of uh, Goji or Gojo. But I don't know if I still do or not. And I remember thinking, what the fuck is even this? And I think to my shame, I said, is this like a Persona 5 sticker? And I think Possum said, no, that's from JJK. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what that is. And also BTW. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I still have that. If I do, it's going to go somewhere because Gojo's dope. Yeah, third edition though. Oh, hey, you guys might want to see this. I'll show this. So, been working on the commissions for the YOs. A lot of progress has been made. JJK has also released a sequel spin-off and just finished last March. Oh, fuck yeah. Well, I'll check that out as well. So, I'm going to need to switch. Boop, boop, boop. OBS. There you are. Ooh, she naked. So, this is the first human scale, or, sized. First human scale. This is the first human-sized model for the Trench Crusade wires. The wires Trench Crusade warband. Tired brain. Also, I don't think I finished my first thought. I'm clearly still waking up and all. It's all coming, baby. But I said it was a beautiful day out. It's actually really rainy. The storms are brewing. I like it. But yeah, I'm working on it. The boobs are not going to look as insane torpedo-esque. I promise. They are just there. This is the very first layers of green that I put down. But I'm really happy with her face. I think in order to really properly show it off, I'd have to switch the cameras, the lenses, but we'll probably wait to do that. Yeah, no, you can still see. That's fucking sick. I'm really happy with that. Okay, let's move on from JJK. I'm getting so much hype. I might just, yeah, forget it. Let's stop. Is that a female goblin? So, not a goblin. So she's essentially a nun. A nun that is almost completely naked. She does have boots on, though. This one wears boots. Almost completely naked. That is a master swordsman. Super zealot. Like, they are part of a cult that worships the third Metachrist, which is, I guess, the third clone of Jesus, that apparently constantly wept blood from its eyes and mouth. And apparently went through some gnarly ass shit, because their whole thing is they like to manifest the wounds of the third Metachrist, and the easiest way to do that is run around naked, especially in no man's land, because barbed wire, and the commission I did for the wires, the communicant, the pictures are now going up of Eric's pictures. I can't. Oh, they're so fucking good. So good. If you haven't looked at the link that Eric posted in the Discord, it is worth your time. I made everything with the intention of it being photographed by Eric Wire. So I'm really fucking happy with how it turned out, because it looks like exactly how I imagined it would, and that is truly wonderful. Because like I knew that it would go that hard, but now I get to see all the things that Eric can do with it. And yeah, the first little image that I took to send them a picture, once I had like a couple of pieces of scenery done and the model, I'm glad you achieved your design goal for her. Thank you. No, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with it. This one's gonna get there. Yeah, the other one's a lot bigger. Let's see. I'll just pull this picture up on my phone just to show you guys. So that's her. That's who I'm talking about. But yeah, and that is the picture that I was going to reference. Oh, whoa, possum. Ooga booga. Yay, possum. But yeah, I absolutely love these photos that Eric took. They are beyond sick. Yeah, again, that's phone, camera, or picture on my phone through my camera. So if it's blurry by any reason, that's not Eric. That's me right now. Also, there's a hair on there. There's a couple hairs. I'm gross, apparently. Mowgli. Yeah, I know. Mowgli hasn't been here in a couple days, but hopefully he will turn up. And then I've been working on so these are the first two that I'm planning on finishing. This is just brain. Trench Pilgrim with Zealot Strength and a punt gun. So punt guns, I don't know if I've yapped about those yet, but I'm gonna, if I haven't already, it's gonna happen now, because punt guns are one of the craziest fucking things that mankind has ever invented. Like, and to give you an idea of how crazy they are, so sad I missed Eric when he was down here. Oh, no. Yeah, that is sad. What, he was in California? I missed that moment when he recommends a Taco Bell. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Who's Eric? Eric Wire. Eric Wire from Between the Bolter and Me. If you've seen any pictures that I've held up that I'm like, yeah, this is a photograph from someone, it's probably one of Eric's. He is, he's my favorite photographer, I'd say, which is wild because my oldest friend is, they're just so different. They're just so different. The reason I guess that I love Eric's photography so much is it reminds me so much of how I do things. Like, if I loved photography, it would be like mine, where it's just like every time I talk to Eric, it's just the obsession has creeped a little further to where he's just trying to cut literally everyone out. Like, at the end, it's just like the end goal, I would assume, would be, I'm gonna build a camera. Like, I'm gonna build the camera, I'm gonna do the whole thing, I'm gonna make the film. Just everything I've heard from him has just been slowly cutting out every single, like, other factor of someone else doing the thing to truly make it his. And that is just enthralling to me, and I love it. He was down by me for work, but I reached out too late. He's posted a bunch of pictures. Okay, yes, okay, I saw. Yeah, I didn't catch. I don't think he ever mentioned that in the Discord while we were talking. But yeah, I did see the pictures, and I was like, maybe these are old, maybe they're recent. But yeah, no, love the Wires, love Eric. But yeah, so punt guns. To give you an idea how buck wild these things are, they were illegal in most places in the world, almost everywhere, by like mid 1800s, like late mid 1865, 1865s, before 1870. These were fucking illegal everywhere because of the fact that they are responsible for the extinction of at least a couple of species. Like, just fact. Like, they were essentially, and I mean essentially, like literally, just a really big break action shotgun. Like 15 feet. Yeah, 15 feet with a 10-foot barrel. So yeah, the stock typically was about 5 feet, and then a 10-foot long fucking barrel. And that barrel is about that big around. Sorry, let me zoom out. You guys can't see my hands. About that big around, like fucking huge. Actually, maybe I have talked about this because I remember showing these pictures now that I'm thinking it about how big the shells are. That's a 12 gauge shotgun shell, so about yay big. That thing is about yay big. They're crazy huge. But But yeah, you would pull a trigger, and these also, to answer the question that anyone who hasn't heard of these already, they had to be mounted on boats. Like, yeah, you can't fucking carry this thing. They were mounted on a boat, so you would go out, quietly slink up to like a migratory flock of birds, and then as soon as they like go up, you pull the trigger and like with one shot kill 50 to 100 birds every single time. Like, it's just crazy. But they were used for industrialized harvesting, or industrial scale harvesting of wildlife for like food processing and shit. But yeah, so that's punt gun. You know how to use guns? I do. I have a couple guns. There's one right there. So anywho, this one, I thought, they aren't really going to be carrying around a 15-foot long gun in the trenches. That's just not practical. So of course they're going to saw it off. So pretty much this would be a 5-foot gun. He's American, comes with a certificate. Yeah, I've got a couple. I have a couple. I don't know if, like, I showed a while back some shell casings that I used for some trench crusade terrain. Those are from my 357. It's a handgun. Understandable. Yeah. I'm American and like Heartland, like Southern. We're right there in the middle. We're right above Tennessee. Like, people typically think that we're just a bunch of gun-toting yokels. I'm a gun-toting basement goblin. Oh my gosh, did you guys see that my son snuck over here? I didn't even see that. Boy's tuckered out. Anywho, so I actually wanted to learn 1, 2 though, but I know it requires control while shooting a gun because of recoil. Fortunately, I have tiny hands. Yeah, that's a big one. That is a big one. So I pretty much went around about sawing it off. I bored the barrel. So this is a tube, but I essentially counter drilled. So inside of a shotgun barrel, there's going to be a little bit of a cone. And when you saw off a barrel, you want to make a cone. You don't want it to be rough. So I made sure that that was fixed. And then I also figured that they would probably shave down a lot of the stock to make it easier to carry. And then I went back and I added these little pieces of, and this I'm probably going to have to show on the other lens. No, you can see it. So a little piece of metal on the top. I got to fill this part of the arm. But the little piece of metal on the top, that is going to be, the release for the muzzle brake. And then little pieces of metal, there's one there. And then on the other side, that is actually where the brake would occur. He looks like a Doom main character. Fuck yeah. I've dated about it with gestures, but I'm still worried about my wife's depression. Yeah, that is a very, very, very big concern. Punt guns akimbo. Sorry, Theo, I didn't mean to wake you up. Possum, you made me ugly laugh and wake up my son. Punt guns akimbo. Kill 200 fucking birds. Fuck you, birds. And then I added so the idea was essentially that the thing that he's holding in his other hand would be the part that would be mounted to the boat, where they would pretty much have, broken it off or whatever. But in this situation, I don't think I'd ever would have been on a boat because, yeah, during the First Crusade, yeah. So this situation, that was never used for that. So the handle's over on the side to pretty much counter it. And then, of course, I've got a barrel shroud. I've always been a big fan of how they look on shotguns. Like I want to say it's the Winchester 1890. I think that's the one. And then of course the Remington 870. And that's what I've got. Those were very big in World War One, I believe. Remington 870. No, maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember when that gun was made. I think both of those were around that time. The funny thing about the Winchester, and Remington did this thing a couple of years back, and it was when so my friend Alan, the photographer, he works at a gun, like a firearm accessories, like shooting, like accessories, attachments, that kind of stuff, tactical shit, company. So he is always up to date on stuff, and he was like, dude, he told me, he was like, dude, Remington, they just got in a lot of fucking trouble. And I was like, oh yeah, what happened? He was like, yeah, it was, and I think it was a Remington 700, which is I want to say a 30 caliber, like around a 30 caliber. I'm not going to be able to, it might be 270 or, you know, they chamber it in different sizes, but apparently a bunch of them left the factory with the disconnect, not, or maybe it was, so that's essentially the disconnect. I'm pretty sure it was a Remington 700 though, because I remember thinking, Jesus fucking Christ. But what that means is as soon as you ram that bolt, it just, like, there is no, like, when you remove the disconnect, that essentially means that the part that as soon as it becomes chambered, like if the trigger is like pull, so yeah, as soon as you put the bolt in, like if the trigger's depressed, like say you're just holding the trigger and you're like, doot, 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 it'll fucking, like it shouldn't be able to do that. Like you shouldn't, I'd have to look and see, maybe it was a shotgun, because I remember thinking, it must have been a shotgun. It must have been the 870. They must have had a bunch of 870s. I don't remember. The disconnect essentially though comes down to, in World War One, that is why we have them now, because they were almost immediately, as soon as America joined World War One, almost immediately like declared a war crime by Germany, because they were called trench sweepers, broom sweepers, trench brooms, but they did not have a disconnect, so you could hold the trigger down, and when you racked it, it would fire. Like, that is an extremely unsafe thing, so like, that is not a thing. Now, you can't buy a gun like that. In order to make a gun like, you can't like open it up and change it. Like, it is the entire mechanism now has been like changed to ensure for safety that doesn't happen, because that could be insanely dangerous. But yeah, so essentially it just made it to where you could fire a shotgun as fast as you could pump it. And that is utterly horrifying. So I thought, yeah, took a lot of design elements from those guns, and I made it a much bigger one. But the idea is essentially, so a break action shotgun, how that works, that little switch on the top, you push that to the side, that releases it, and where that little circle shape is, that is where the whole thing would just break. So you would pretty much pull that and just, and the whole thing would pop down, then you'd pull out a shell about that big, and you just stick it in there, and now you're ready to kill 100 birds again, or in this case, probably turn someone or a demon into mist. A couple other things, I'll just go ahead and show those. So here's, I'm gonna give you an idea how they went. This is the other punt gun. So they both started off as Crute rifles, and I shaved down the hands. It's good shape, and then sculpted a good chunk. Barrels, added the barrels. Then the barrel shroud is of course the bit from vape that I like to use a lot. The little mesh. This one I'm pretty happy with. This is the other stigmatic nun, who will very clearly not be assigned female at birth. So I'm working on the flail still, but I'm really happy with what I have referred to as either the trench rose or trench fleur. But essentially it is just a a mace made of just a bunch of jagged pieces of metal, all welded like a rose petal around. So it would definitely cut the absolute shit out of you. Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that is pretty much where, yeah, fuck it. I'll show you guys these two. So I've been working on helmets. I'll show them. Why not? I've been doing it. So one of the biggest things that, like, you know, with Trench Crusade that I wanted to make was the Legion, which would be the French Foreign Legion. However, in my thoughts, they would not be foreign. They would be just French Legion, and they would be solely taken from the dead. Trench pilgrims in this area, when they die, their bodies, pretty much those that can be recovered, those found worthy, are taken and are given the option to join the Legion. So pretty much the idea being that those Trench pilgrims that have, you know, proven themselves or have like earned a name, have earned an eye, like that would be like an almost like a gift. It's just like you are given a helmet of the Legion before you die. That way you know that your corpse will continue to fight. I wanted to base them off of a lot of French medieval helmet designs, so that's pretty much where a lot of the visuals come from. Still a good amount of work to do, but I'm working on it. And eventually they will be just fully sculpted. That way I can cast them and hope to, you know, sell those things. Yeah, so I guess the thing that probably people want to hear about, if they like Warhammer, which odds are you probably do if you're here. I'm going to step away. What is everyone's favorite helmet? Favorite helmet. Like ever? Favorite helmet ever. Mine is Frogmouth. Oh, or you just mean like medieval? Sorry, Dio. I like a bassinet. Also, I like a great helm too. I said a bassinet, and that's not what I meant to say. I think it's called an arnet or an armet. Very Frogmouth's good though. Frogmouth is good. Frogmouth is very much, I think that's pretty much what I don't know if you guys have played Mortal Shell. High key hate great helms. I like a great helm, man. They're fucking rad. Hound Skull is close second to Frogmouth. Anything funky. Did you guys play Mortal Shell, or are you familiar with Mortal Shell? My favorite. I'm gonna grab. Kelly drew a picture of him. I also needed to step away for a second. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. Get in my pictures of my son and my daughter and my other son. 3 babies. I'm pretty sure I've shown you guys this picture, but I really like the game Mortal Shell. Like, I think a lot of people thought that it was just like oh man, this is just a low budget like Dark Souls knockoff, and it's like, dude, the story was like tailor made for me. A lot of the themes behind that game are very, very central to like things that I like to explore in my stories a lot. And I think one of my a man is more than just a shell. I think that was one of my favorite lines from that game. A man is more than just a shell. But yeah, it's fucking great. It's got Aerodrum, who is just a monster. It's got Gorf, who is just the best frog ever. And a big silly goofball who sells stuff. What more do you people want? Go play it. I want to play it again now. Now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, So this is a picture that Kelly drew of our babies about 4 years ago, of them as different characters from No, I've Never Played. So this is Theo as Aerodrome, which is my favorite character. He's just an absolute monster. But he wears it's something between a great helm and a frog mouth. I think it's a great helm. That's a great helm. Yeah. He's the one that's on the cover of the enhanced edition. Yeah. Aerodrome. That's a great helm, right? I think so. Yeah. Big fan. Big fan of the design. Big fan of the character. It's like a really long great helm. Like it goes down quite a bit. That's a great helm though. Absolutely a great helm. But yeah, that's Aerodrome. So Kelly drew Theodore as Aerodrome and Oliver as Gorf and Margot as I don't remember who, but it's the person who sells you stuff. Because that's the whole thing. Margot's like, hey, want to buy some stuff? It's me, Jumbo. You're going to need to buy some things if you don't want to die. That's not a threat, I'm just being honest. Okay, so, modal shell. I don't know how I got on that. Oh, we were talking about helmets. That's probably why. You guys got me yapping today. That's how you get me to not drink my coffee. Okay, well, it's 8:46. You guys want to talk about 3rd edition? 3rd edition 40K? I think I do. 3rd edition 40K is what got me into tabletop gaming. It has an extremely special place in my heart. It's been about a year since I had like my little like crash out about Warhammer, and my real just kind of rejection of the company that owns its IP. And it left me with such a bad taste that I don't know, it was just really not good. But it, like, more than anything, it was just hurt. Like, I just felt hurt. So I was really sad. But time heals all wounds. Or at least to some extent. Because while doing spring cleaning, I've been going through my stuff, trying to, think of, hey, what do I need to get rid of? I need to cut down on stuff that I don't need. Excuse me. I burped. Anywho, derailed my own self. Going through, thinking about stuff, and looking through a lot of my things. And I don't even know how I got there, but it led me to looking at, man, I don't remember. Actually, I think I do. I think I was thinking, man, I want to do a commission for a Warhammer army. And I was like, man, that sounds fun, because I've got a lot of bits. I need to use those, and they're not really, it's not really a good use of the plastic, just to be honest, if I'm not making them into something that they already are. Because at this point, I'll just sculpt it better. Live chat, cool, just making sure. So, I have been thinking that, and by thinking that, like, pretty much the whole thing came down to, I opened up this book when I was explaining to Kelly the difference between Warhammer Now and when I started and when I fell in love with it. And a very key part of all of that is the summer that, I guess it was the summer of the Eye of Terror campaign, which I believe is 2003. Firstborn Army. So we're going to do a lot of things. I've got a lot of ideas. The number one thing, though, is, but yeah, during the Eye of Terror campaign, I pretty much, and like this is not a overstatement on my part. In hindsight, it was fucking weird. I pretty much lived in a Games Workshop in North Carolina, like Charlotte, North Carolina, the Concord Mills Mall. I like lived there a summer. Um, I pretty much, if they were open, like I was there. It was like I worked there, but I didn't get paid. I just hung out and, excuse me, Mr. Skeleton, but I think Ignota said, Eileen, I'll only say this once: life is cruel, and time heals nothing. That is that is true. I don't think so much the time heals the wound as much as I'm trying to think of how Isaac Brock says it. Well, if it takes shit to make bliss, well, I feel pretty blissfully. Um, well, if it takes shit to make bliss, well, I feel pretty blissfully. Okay, anyway, you're not going to get me off on Modest Mouse now. But yeah, no, that's not weird. I did that at my LGS in 2018, unless I'm also weird. Shit. What's weird? What did I? What did I say was weird? Man, there's too many things going on. A little bit of. Oh no, you stayed the same. Okay, no. Living at a game store. Yeah, pretty much. So I was there for the summer, staying at my grandparents who live in Concord, which is technically, yeah, it's Concord Mills Mall. So I said Charlotte. It's Concord. I said Charlotte because Charlotte is the biggest city, and between every day between my grandparents' house. I guess I'm normal because I ain't never lived at a game store. um, and now I realize, like, man, that okay. This did seem a little crazy now that I'm thinking about it. Because, like, I went in. I went in through like the employee entrance. Like, I would cut through like the service tunnels and shit. So it's just like cutting in through service tunnels, helping my boys close the store. But it was like 100% a coming of age summer for me. So like Warhammer has a extremely, like, it's such a key part of like who I am, and not just because of like that, but like its continued presence in before and after, like with my friend group. It was a very, 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 very key thing between like my friend Ed and I. So yeah, I just loved, I loved the game. It really was fun. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful place for my little imagination to escape to, for me to escape to. And I was trying to explain to Kelly the difference between, and the reason that I got on that, yeah, that's the shit. Be there often enough, folks think you work there, and maybe exude enough, or that folks think you own the place. Yeah, no. So essentially, there was one point in time, someone came in and they were looking at all the models in the display cabinet, and they saw me painting, because again, I'm just there just painting forever. They're just like, "Did you paint all these?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I painted all." And they're like, "Holy shit, how much do they pay you?" And I was like, "Oh no, I don't work here." And they're just like, "What the?" They were like, "You guys need to start paying this kid. He's painting all these models, blah blah blah." And they were just like, "We give him free paint." And it was so funny that like they did not hear me. the little bit of chaos that I caused was very funny for me. But yeah, it was silly. Obviously, no, I didn't paint all of them. And like a couple of them were like, it was a joke mainly because, like, you know, the front cabinet had like Golden Demon awards in it and shit, like from the, I'm not going to be able to remember Ross. I remember Ross and Todd, and I'm not going to say Todd's last name. But Todd, shout out. That dude is one of the coolest dudes that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Like, just good fucking dude. He worked at the Games Workshop, and man, like the closest thing to like an older brother that I could have ever imagined having. But he was just a really good dude, and it wasn't just like me. He was like that with like some even like another younger kid. Um, but we went to go see Land of the Dead when it came out. But yeah, it was just a really really fun time in my life, and Warhammer was an extremely big part of that. Um, I love a coming of age story. This Cicadas in the GW must have been beautiful. I shoot at your chaos rod. Blee, 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 blee. Yeah. The I think like the image of like the front of that game store in the mall and the life-size Blood Angel Space Marine standing in like in front of like the big window. It just lives forever in my heart. Like I can smell that store right now. I can smell that store and I can feel its carpet. I can feel the red fucking carpet on my bare feet because I'm a filthy animal who wears sandals. And every now and then I like to take them off and I'm just like, oh, I gotta stretch my little peakies. Which my feet, I'm not gonna show them. I have not intentionally shown them, but whoo boy, they're not as scary as they used to be. So, joke's on y'all. But yeah, Warhammer, it's just very near to my heart. So to see what it's kind of become was just the closest thing to just shitting in the Bible at church on Sunday, like Mass, that like I could really think about, and then just all that. Yeah, I'm not going to go into all that again. But while building, boo, where are the free grippers? Where are the free grippers? Grip. So last year at Adepticon, I was fortunate enough to pick up a Leviathan box set for half off because some place ordered apparently too many, and they were like, we got to get rid of these, and it was just like, dude, they're like selling for more than like what they cost because they're out of print now. I don't think this is a good call, but fuck it, I bought one. And this was already after I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna fuck with Warhammer, but it was still just such a good deal that I was like, fuck it, it's just worth it, even if I want to turn around and try to, sell it later on, if I need monies. But that did not happen. Instead, I put together all of the Tyranids. Tyranids were my very first. This is not my codex. I do not have my codex anymore. But this is one that I picked up. And this guy is very fun. I enjoyed putting these little snap fit guys together a lot. They're not going to stay like that. I want to make that very clear. But I will say that I have talked a lot of shit about quality and the difference between this and I think the last kit that I put together from Games Workshop is noticeably different. So where praise is due. But Screamer Killers have a very boo. Where are the free creepers? Okay. Yeah, Screamer Killers, Carnifexes just have a very special place in my heart because of the time in which that I started playing, which was right when this book came out. I, of course, loved dinosaurs, love aliens, love all that. So Tyranids were a very easy pick, and that is what got me into the army. The Carnifex of 3rd edition was real goofy looking. This guy. And I no longer have my Tyranids. I had the Levy and Push Fit were fun. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, the Push Fits were there. They're great. They're very fun. I put together all the Tyranids. I still have the Termagant arms. I cut all those off the sprue, so I'm just trying to figure out which arms go where now. And that's it. Like I cut everything off, and I just was like, I'm just gonna blindly assemble these, which was pretty fun. Sitting outside while Theo took some naps in the he wants a hug. That's it. So I started playing Tyranids and slowly amassed like getting the 3rd edition these models. My friend Ed also loved Tyranids. And he had the second edition Carnifex and Hive Tyrant models, which I don't think there's a picture of. There's one of the old Hive Tyrants. Very silly. I don't know. They're very, very different. The third edition models, though, not my favorite. The Lictor holds a very special place in my heart. That's my favorite Tyranid. Always has been. Anywho, so showing Kelly this, and that's a thing that I really forgot. This like whole little chunk of this book, and you can tell this isn't mine because these, damn, this actually looks like pretty good quality. Like mine was damn near falling apart because I lived in that book. Like the amount of just hours I spent looking over these images and like just daydreaming and thinking, just so much time. But it's just wild that they used to actually show you how to do conversions. They used to just, and that's like green stuff, seeing green stuff. I remember that was a question I had to ask at like the Games Workshop. I was like, what is green stuff? They're like, oh, it's just called that. I was like, so what's it actually called? And they're like, oh, well, it has its own name, but everyone just calls it green stuff. And I was like, where do I get that? And they're like, oh, well, and I don't even remember if at the time, I think they did sell it. But that is where I first used green stuff. But my applications of it were very, very, very minimal. They were pretty much only filling in, like on the Lictor. I had three Lictor models. Pretty much only, actually no, I think all of them, all but one. One of them had flesh hooks. The others I took them off. That way they weren't all just flesh hooks. And then I filled in sculpted little ribs. And Todd walked me through that. But that was just like very basic. Using green stuff, filling that kind of stuff. I didn't start sculpting until much later. But the thing that makes third edition the fucking coolest edition is this kind of stuff, in my opinion. It is absolutely, third edition is the game that it was so much about your dudes, and the amount of customization and shit that you could do is bonkers. It's so bonkers that I completely even forgot about this. But the mutable genus tables are some of the most inspired, like, game content I've ever fucking seen. And I don't think that they were in 4. I'm almost certain that the multiple genus creatures, this was third, and then they started to just go a little bit back. But looking back through this and just thinking about, it's just like, oh yeah, that's probably why I couldn't help but constantly be fucking thinking about this shit, because the books themselves were not just made to sell you something. They were filled. This thing's 43 pages, 44 pages maybe. 50 max. I'm gonna say 50 max. And I mean, there's just thousands of hours of imagination for me in there. And then we get to this one, which is the best codex that's ever been made, in my very firm opinion. I'll fight someone about that. I won't fight, but I'll listen to your. I don't remember if that's the Tyranid Codex I have. Hell yeah! So I've got this one, and then I've got second. I never played second, but I have the one with the build your own Carnifex. That might be 4. I think that's 4. 4 was also soft cover. So I played the most that I played was 3.5, which is, I was I was looking at this like last night. The differences between third and fourth edition. And if you played third edition with the chapter approved 2004 updated rules, you pretty much were just playing fourth. Like they just took all of that stuff and put it in one book. But it probably was less concise because they did things to neuter Rhino Rush that got really crazy at the end. I mean, at the end of the day, don't be an asshole. That's the fix. They neutered it. Mine didn't have that sick cover. Oh, this one. Yeah, the Adrian Smith Tyranid art. This image lives rent free on my heart, not my head, in my heart. Like that, I have spent so much time looking at every fucking just little line and little crease at the textures of these things. Adrian Smith and Phil Kelly and Andy Chambers made Tyranids, and if they say, "Oh, this is good for Tyranids," then they're right, in my opinions. So anything that they've done, I've just been like, holy fuck. The Phil Kelly codex that came out after this was great, but I do think that this is the best Tyranid codex, is the third edition. And that's solely just because of that table right there. That is one of the most inspiring gaming, like 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 3 pages. That's fucking nuts. And then, you also have just mutations. Insane. I think it's 5, including the whole little explaining what it is. But that was just normal for third edition. Like, no one would bat an eye at that. Like, you show up to the table, and I think that's it. It's the models were not... Technology was only so much. You had to do so much on your own or with your own devices to make things... What you see is what you get, which at the time of third edition, at least in most of my experiences, that was the biggest thing, was just having fun. Because it was closer to narrative already, just because they encouraged so hard making them about your dudes. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Remember when some armies didn't get codices for an entire edition? Oh yeah, we're looking at you, Deldar and Orcs. Well, Orcs, they got 4th. Orcs pretty much owned 4th edition. That was their edition. Chaos pretty much was really bad 4th edition. It's the price you pay for having one of the greatest books from a company, the Friar. Bretonia. Yeah, playing 5th edition with that Orc Codex was very cool. Yeah, there's good times. Good times. 4th is, I think I dropped out in 5th. 5th is probably, I think, when I stopped playing. And then I purchased multiple rule books. I came back to 7th for a little bit. I did not play 6th. I might have played 6th a little bit. I might have played 6th a little bit and said, this is so terrible. Why did you invite me, Ian? But I don't remember if I did or didn't. I played the fuck out of 3.5 though. And that pretty much has brought me back to thinking that that's what I want to do. I want to work on the stuff that I actually really love. And I've asked a lot, like, hey, what do you guys want to see? And the overall response, the greatest response is always something Warhammer related. If not My Emperor's Children specifically, just Warhammer. We want Warhammer. And I am really vibing on these lately. So I've been thinking that that is what the next big project is going to be. And on that note, I've got to pee real bad. I'm like 8 minutes over from my pee break. I'll be right back, my sweets. Thank you, guys. Sorry. We got all this stuff to yap about. And then the Orc Codex came out and suddenly they were shooting army. I hate it. I hate that. The only thing worse is Tyranids being a shooting army. I gotta go pee.
But I'll be damned if I'll stand by silent while jesters claim our throne. Sped up, this movie is lovesick with its own premise. Riled up, this flock is homesick with happy ending. Don't deny the streets were gold, but the beggars and your holy virgins picked them clean. Oh, I could never be so bold. I'm just another leering wolf bang amongst the sheep, and we hang our heads low, all too blind to see. Just fake animals, pour out words just to speak. Sped up, this movie is lovesick with its own premise. Tell what they have told, but the masses move too fast to process what they mean. Just like penitents are bold, still struggling with the news while the vultures pick us clean. Oh, and we hang our heads low, all too blind to see. Just fake animals, pour out words just to speak.
And we're back. Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, I want to start playing 3rd edition. Haven't come up with a name for the overall project yet. But third edition. Revisited. We'll go with that for the subject. Heavy-handed campaigns. So I really want to show why I fell in love with tabletop gaming, and kind of replay this game. I want to start playing this again. I love Warhammer. I will not be playing any modern edition. But if you want to see what made me fall in love with tabletop gaming, it's this. Um, and that which is dead may no longer die. Or may no, that which is dead can no longer die. Or that which is dead cannot die. I don't remember. It's been forever. But yeah, so I've been thinking about this. I wish I could have watched Julian run Austin and Austin through Rogue Trader. Fuck yeah. 4K, no Rogue Trader. I never played Rogue Trader. That's the thing, I guess. Like, Rogue Trader is definitely something that I'll visit at some point. Because, yeah, it is awesome. But this is what made me love Warhammer. Um, and man, armies used to not be as fucking big as they were. Like, I remember thinking, I was like, man, I remember, and see, I played Tyranids too, though. So, like, 2,000 points of Tyranids, I was a swarm army, as Tyranids should be. So I was like, Jesus, that's so many models. But looking back at it, it's just like, oh, wait, actually, no. Like, 1,000-point games were fun and did not take that long. But my plan is to essentially build a few 500-point armies and then kind of work my way up to 500 points. Work my way up on a few of them. It kind of just depends where my vibe's going. But I like to have multiple projects going on because I need places for my brain to escape to whenever I get too deep into one. And to handle things whenever I have downtime between this is doing this is doing that. And then there's just other reasons. But yeah, Trench Crusade's not going anywhere. But my heart is just really, I don't know, looking through my old codexes and looking through all the old things about how this game worked and just the sheer amount of creativity that it really inspired in me made me want to share that with others. And yeah, seeing that that's the thing that the majority of people are asking for. I think it's the time. I think it's time to do it. So, yeah, the plan is 500-point escalation. And we know we're going to have my Tyranids, High Fleet Sila, we know we're going to have our Black Legion. And from here, that's where things get a little tricky, and I was hoping that I would have some feedback from others. Of course, I've got to make other things. A big, there is a cat hair, sorry, a Margot hair in my mouth. I got it though. Big part of why I loved Warhammer was the Space Marines. Same thing with my buddy Ed. And I really kind of wanted to make an army based on pretty much the kind of stuff that we would always talk about. So I'm going to make a Black Templar army as well. And my idea was to do 4 or 5. That way I have enough to kind of switch around. Obviously, I have so many fucking ideas that I just kind of want to gather, like, hey, what do you guys think? I think 40K should be played as a combination of RPGs and miniatures and stuff, which I feel Rogue Trader kind of sits. Yeah, no, and I absolutely, I get that, and I love that. I just kind of want to show what made me fall in love with it all, and kind of revisit that. And looking through, like, starting to try and make army lists for this stuff again, really, like, it, like, fixed that part of me that just has been angry and sad for a hot minute. So it's just like, I feel like I need to taste that bliss, and I feel like my work and what I make is best when I am doing what I truly am passionate about and what I'm loving. And I don't want it to come off that I'm not enjoying Trench Crusade. I love the aesthetic. It seems absolutely made for me. But this hit really like kind of hard. I guess just looking through everything, it just made a whole bunch of old memories come back, and that really kind of got me thinking about if I was going to do it now, how I would do things. So pretty much, it's just, yeah, I want to make third edition armies the way I make things now. So, I want to make third edition. I want to show you what it looked like in my head when I was playing it, because that's what made me fall in love with all this tabletop gaming stuff. I also was torn between Blood Angels, possibly a possibly a successor chapter, because that is a whole fun thing that we can do that people ask about, or orcs. Okay, so that's probably, I probably should just not even put the or. I probably should just put orcs down here. But we're actually not even going to put possibly. We're going to put they are. I've already kind of started to brainstorm with things. I want an army for Kelly to play. And Kelly loves, in games, Kelly loves berserking. She is all about melee, running and bashing. So I was like, well, I've got two armies that I think you would really love, Blood Angels and Orcs. Successor chapter. Homebrew. With Inquisition. Allies. I wanted Kelly to be able to use her Inquisitor from Dark Heresy, Celicia Belvey. And I already had quite a few ideas spring up amongst my mind about how to do that with some Space Marines and make it, something that she could play with on the game. So yeah, that's make your own with the chapter approved nonsense. Back for Talgo Scratch Words. Flesh Tears. So yeah, essentially like a homebrew, like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. I've got a couple of books that from like Death Watch that have a lot of charts to roll on and stuff. That'll be pretty fun for that. The word Carrion or Charnel is definitely going to be in their name. Carrion Saints was kind of on there. It's one of the Blood Bowl team names I've used before. Carrion Lords, Carrion Saints. Charnel Lords is the name of my Black Legion warband. So I didn't really want to use Charnel. Orcs, I think we're going to go with Death Skulls. I was looking at their rules and whatnot last night, and yeah, I think scratch built orcs is something that people would really like to see, and something that I would really enjoy doing. I think that would be really fun. Carrion D's. Carrion D's nuts. Oh, you. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, hopefully this sounds like something you guys would like to see. I'm thinking it would be. I'm thinking people would like that. It definitely sounds like something I want to do. I'm trying to remember which book the Death Watch character or chapter generation. I think it's honor that chapter, but I don't know. I'll grab it here in a little bit. Walking around. But yeah, Kelly's character in Dark Heresy is a very radical inquisitor. By the time of the story where we're at now. So I definitely wanted to make sure she could have demon hosts. That'd be fun. Some Blood Angels successors that maybe have been, declared hereticus traitors. If not, excommunicate. Ooh, he's making biscuits. Make those biscuits. Where you going, buddy? Coming to see me. So, Dad, what are you doing? Hey, Bug. Do not, sir. Just go ahead and close that. Don't want anybody to get any ideas. It's not fun. Not safe playing in machinery. Got to time those orcs builds with the new box to maximize engagement. Blue boys, sick. These blue boys, sick. Yeah, one could say even tubular. Got to time those orc builds with the new box to maximize engagement. So that's, I can't stress enough. I'm not trying to fish for like, ooh, I think this would be more popular. This really was just like, I can't stop thinking about playing 3rd edition and how much fun I had. And also, I was looking at the Blood Angels rules, and they have a very special place in my heart because that was the first game that broke my fucking mind when it came to like Space Marines. Because with Tyranids, I loved playing Space Marines because for some reason, everyone I played against, they just did not understand. It's just like, do not let my big things get close. That, or maybe I swamped them. I played Tyranids the way that they always were in my head, like a swarm with like big bugs scattered in. But as soon as you get, a Carnifex or a Hive Tyrant in a unit of Space Marines, they're dead. That 3-up save, once that's gone, they're just gone. But whoo boy, having never played against a Blood Angel army, and I realize now that like what happened was absolutely like it kind of fucked both of us. But the only reason, like, he won because he wiped me. Like, he completely wiped me. But I don't think he would have been able to win had anything survived because he had so many of his dudes become Death Company, which is awesome, but also sucks if you're just like, oh, I need this guy to do blank. And it's just like, well, shit. Because essentially they pretty much just count as dead afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a hot minute, but I just remember Death Company being the scariest shit I'd ever seen. And I love that. So pretty much my pitch to Kelly was, it was like, yeah, so like just a bunch of blood crazed berserker Space Marines. And she was like, that does sound pretty cool. And I was like, and you could use Cilicia. And she was like, that also sounds cool. And I was like, oh fuck, I forgot. Also, they're all vampires. And she was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, never mind. So yeah, I'm probably going to do those. And I know I'm doing these. The Black Templar seems like something I need to do, though. Because I really love Black Templar. I don't know, but the whole plan is to essentially build little 500 point groups and some terrain that I have been trying to decide what the fuck to do with since 3rd edition. Oh, 4th, Cities of Death. So yeah, I'm really excited about that because it's just finally, I've kind of hit the point of just like, I'm going to make what the hell I want to make for me. And playing a game that's dead, that I really loved. Yeah, it's just removing all the, how can they take your fun away from you, from it. And that's something that I was needing. So yeah, that's why. That's why. Yeah. So with that said, It's $9.29. I definitely kind of want to look through. So I started looking at orc stuff because, man, I love orcs. They're fun. They're very silly, and they love building trash. And I like building trash. So it seems like, you know, it's a really good match. My Black Templar, though I've got a lot put together, I do not think they will be something that we could easily get going. So I think probably the first one that I'm going to mess with is my Black Legion, which is probably fitting. So I kind of just wanted to see what all I've even got to fuck with for that, because it's been a long time. And I thought maybe you guys would want to see that kind of stuff too. Perhaps. Well, we got some rhinos. More vampires than an Anne Rice novel. Dead games truly are the best. Yeah, dead games are the best. Don't let them take it from you. Y'all are wanting me to play that 15th edition. I'm just out here playing with this corpse, having a great time. Alrighty. Let's see what has survived the various emotional outbreaks that I have had, and cannibalization. It's not the funnest amount. All right. I think it's predominantly this. More vampires than an Anne Rice. Is Anne Rice? Does Anne Rice write about vampires a lot? I'm trying to think of what she's done. Don't look at those piggies. Don't do it. I'm not as familiar with Anne Rice as... Yes? Interview Eli? Oh, okay. I'm not thinking of Anne Rice. I'm thinking of Ayn Rand. I was like, I don't... Huh. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we got some fun boys in here. It's been a long time since I looked at my Black Legion. Yeah. His legs seem kind of short and stumpy. We'll have to do something about that. Let's see where we're at. Let's see what's inside. Ooh. For real. Holy fuck, libertarian vampires. Let's stop. Hell yeah, man. I do love Interview. That's a Masquerade character if ever heard of one. Yeah. Libertarian. All right, how many of these old boys we got? Hey, Margot. A lot? A lot of little boys? How many are close to being done? So there's my Abaddon conversion. That was my Sorcerer Lord. So let's go ahead and put him off to the side, as well as Balgarodon, my HQ. How many of you guys got heads? Marco. What are you screaming about, girl? What? She sounds mad. She says, well, I am. I am mad. Okay, this is not a good organization. Dreadnought's going to go over here for space. We'll put guys who have heads over here. Because that was a big kind of thing of like, oh, if I made a head for them, then they probably were at least a little bit done. Sculpted all bunch of little things on all these. So 1, 2. You need a head. So you don't go in that pile. Eli, what are you doing? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 14 no heads. Ten. 15 with heads. Okay. So 29. There's a head. Dreadnought. Termilord. Chaos Lord. And then 29. Chaos Space Marines. We could definitely probably make a list with that. And then just a bunch of these little cultists, but I don't think I can use those in this edition. Unless I'm playing The Lost and the Damned. Which might be fun. It might be fun for... That might be really fun. I'm going to have to grab that character, or that... I have that printed out. So let me grab that. What are our thoughts, my sweets? Lost and the Damned were really fucking cool. I think that's what we're going to have to go with. Man, I loved how demons used to work. Demon vessels, so awesome. Yeah, okay. No, I think we just need to play Lost in the Damned. That sounds like the choice. I don't even know what I was thinking. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, no, I'm thinking Lost in the Damned would be really fun, especially because I already have a bunch of little gribbly guys already kind of made to use as mutants and cultists. Yeah. Well, I would say that I can go ahead and make my list, but I don't want to just sit here and do that the whole time. NB4, you build a force for every army. Build a force for every army. NB4? LNB4? I don't know what that's supposed to be. In before, or maybe it's just in before. In before you build a force for every army. Yeah, I'm excited to do this. I also, I mean, just with Chaos, like the Chaos Codex is so fun. The idea of doing like an Eye of Terror, like a War in the Eye kind of thing, really, really gets me stoked. I don't. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. We're gonna go with the Black Legion first. Can I use my Dreadnought in that? I think I can, but I don't know if I can. And if we go force revealing. No Dreadnoughts. That's okay. Oh, wait. Let me include the following allied units from Codex CL Spations. 1 HQ choice, 1 elite choice, 2 troop choices, fast attack choice. Units with a mark are always elites. That's fine. Yeah, okay, so yeah, no, I could use all that. That seems like it might be our choices. Yeah. No. Yeah, we're doing the Lost and the Damned. I left out the Lost and the Damned. Units High Fleet Sila. That's my own High Fleet. I've already got that figured out. Black Templar. They just kind of are Black Templar. And I did think that it kind of would be cool to do something kind of like an Armageddon. But man, City Fight is my favorite shit. So a whole lot of City Fight, which is definitely why the Death Skulls, like I thought like, oh man, Cult of Speed would be really fun because then I could make, it's just in before. Hell yeah, I'm losing steam. Gotta sleep. Bye, Eli. No, love you, Roz. Thank you so much for coming in. And yeah, no, sorry, I don't mean to. I really don't want you guys to be bored as fuck while I'm just sitting here looking at little toys and kind of writing, but I'm just kind of thinking, trying to plan. I also thought it was wild. I looked back in here. They never even tell you the table size, like for 3rd edition. They're just like a table between 6 to 8 feet long and 4 to 6 feet wide. Like, just a 6x8 table. God, that's so big. I don't remember. That might be how big Ed's table was. It was huge. It was huge, and it was built like his dad pretty much like led the whole process, and then we kind of helped him. But it was built to be folded. It might have just been a 4x8, but I think it was bigger. But it was built to be folded in half, and it had hills and sloped down to the middle with like a little river and then more hills. But yeah, man, that thing was huge. But it was very much done in the style of like old train, like train dioramas and stuff. But yeah, it was great. Huge table. But yeah, so I'm really excited about this. It's something that I've not allowed myself to think about in like a year because of like the rage and the sadness and all those things. So, so I'm pretty excited. I thought I would share that with you guys because I thought that might excite some of you all. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see that kind of stuff because that's really where most people know my stuff from. With the exception of the few that have seen, my Trench Crusade and my 1490 stuff. It was mainly just my old Warhammer things, and that also gives me a reason to build the Warhound Titan that the Wires sent my way that I love, and I need to finish, need to build. So yeah, I think I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna be obviously doing commissions today, finishing my commissions. I'm gonna try to get those 2 done. And do a little bit of planning on what I'm going to do with these Black Legion guys. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, just feels good. Change of pace. I'm also kind of losing steam here. And we got like 15 minutes if I'm ending it at 10. So this magnetized still? Yeah. I magnetized both these arms. This needs to be fixed. And I think that needs to be longer. I don't think his legs just don't seem long enough in the middle there. I don't know. Seems like they need to be extended. The shins. He seems very squat. Also, we're going to take that off right now. Maybe these two. I can do better. Body will stay for the most part, though. We got to fix those legs, though. This is absolutely a cast, a recast that I bought off of eBay like a decade and something ago. So it was initially kind of posed like that. Stomping. But yeah, we need to make those legs. Those shins need to be a little bit taller. They just aren't. They just do not seem the right height. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it here because I am also getting sleepy, and I need to get to it. I got sculpting commissions to do. I gotta do my fucking taxes soon too. But yeah, I'm excited to revisit this. I have not had that desire for a very long time, but it is back, and it feels good. It feels good to have. So, on that note, I think we're going to end here. Thank you for your time. It's finite. You only have so much. So the fact that you spend any of it at all with me means the world to me. Until next time, be good to yourselves and each other. Sit pretty. Be proud of who you are. Roz, Possum, Yuri, thank you guys so much for popping in and keeping me company and helping me yap. Until next time, have a good one. Take care. Love you, bud. Bye, Possum. Bye, friends.
I got a mean streak and it ain't forgiving. It'll eat lovers like you alive. For wolves like us, darling, love is fleeting. Draped in sheepskin, together we lie. And I know you ain't for sleeping. Well, neither am I. One soul, seven weeping. The best you found, the worst I hide. If it's getting heavy, go ahead and run. Clean hit a blood trail, it's all good. If it's getting heavy, go ahead and run. My local gun hunt will burn on. If it's getting heavy, go ahead and run. Clean hit a blood trail, we're all good. If it's getting heavy, go ahead and run. My local gun hunt will burn on. And they all run. And they all run. And they all run. I got a mean streak and it ain't forgiving. It'll eat lovers like you alive. For wolves like us, darling, love is fleeting. Draped in sheepskin, together we lie.